Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay with the FAFO, F Around and Find Out edition. Tonight's star on the F Around and Find Out would be none other than America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani. The fellow who lost a defamation case to Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman to the tune of, what is it, 186 million? Something like that? Hang on. Come on, I had it in this article. $146 million defamation judgment. So Rudy had a 1980 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL that belonged to Lauren Bacall. And he turned the car over to the two women, but it didn't come with the title, the pink slip. And as the judge said, a car without a title isn't saying much. It's not worth anything because they don't own the car if they don't have the title. And he started taking Rudy Giuliani's lawyer to task, saying, you know, this guy's a former DA. He can get a title to his car. What was the other part here? And then at that point, Rudy Giuliani lashed out at the judge, and basically saying, the implications you're making against me are wrong. I have no car. I have no credit card, no cash. Everything I have is tied up. They put stop orders on my business accounts, and I can't pay my bills. The judge warned him against not making any further outbursts like that. Additionally, here's the quote. Your client's a competent person. He was a U.S. attorney in this district. The notion that he can't apply for a title certificate is what triggered Rudy there. Rudy's saying, I did apply for it. What am I supposed to do? Make it up myself? Well, you know, how long have you had to do that? I think it would be the judge's reasonable comeback. Additionally, Rudy Giuliani was supposed to turn over his watch collection. He has delivered 18 of those watches and one diamond ring. However, 9 of them, there's 9 more watches that he has not turned over. Then also, the clients have... They have his $5 million apartment, but he hasn't provided them the lease or the title documentations for that either. He's been given multiple deadlines, and he recently changed lawyers, and the judge basically said, you can't just ask for more delays because you changed lawyers. You've had all sorts of delays. Get this stuff done, to the point where the judge threatened him with incarceration. This is the find out part. Last year, after the jury was awarded $148 million in damages, asked if he regretted defaming Freeman and Moss, Giuliani said, I do not regret it for a minute. I regret the persecution I've been put through. Always the villain, always the victim. You have to choose your role. You can't be both. So, come on, Rudy. Let's victimize you a little bit more here. I want to look at the energy around Rudy Giuliani. Lashing out at the judge, dragging his feet on things. Oh, he also listed, he has 4 World Series rings that his son said was gifted to him. Problem is, Giuliani listed them as assets that he had, so that undermines the son's claim to those rings. Guess they didn't get their story straight. Giuliani also asked the judge to push a bankruptcy case trial to a later date because he wants to go to Trump's inauguration. And he has a political right to be there. The judge refused, saying Giuliani's social calendar wasn't a reason for a delay. Oh, what's going on with Rudy? Can you hear the fear as I read that stuff? Rudy is scared out of his mind because Judgment Day is here and he's powerless to stop it. Foundation of the reading the world card. This is the end of Rudy Giuliani, and he sees the end of the world is nigh. Rudy Giuliani, his reputation, his wealth, his power, his influence, it's gone. Crossed with the King of Pentacles. You know, he had all of those things. He flushed it. All for the sake of Donald Trump in the 2020 election. And how funny, This happened in the reading yesterday. His world as a powerful, wealthy, influential man is come to an end, and now he's starting his new journey without any of those things. In the past, Empress, he had it all. He had everything. He had everything. He had wealth. He had power. He had a reputation. He, go on TV shows and Dancing with the Stars, and basically applauded wherever he went. Now, the folks in New York may have a different opinion of him, but the PR was such for the rest of the country. He was, quote unquote, America's mayor. Did he deserve that moniker? Whatever, doesn't really matter. But that's what he had. He had it all, and he squandered it. Now, current situation, Rudy's fighting to keep what used to be his. It's already been judged that it's against him, so he delays that. But that doesn't mean that the hits don't keep coming. The woman that was working with him is hitting him for breach of contract and sexual harassment. Dominion voting machines is going to be coming after him, as is Smartmatic, and I'm sure there's other business partners and other companies are coming after him. He will spend the rest of his life fighting things in court. Basically, doing what should have happened to Donald Trump. Overarching energy is the Page of Cups. And I think what's going to happen is, as the pressure mounts, Rudy's going to be turning to the magic elixir that comes out of his wine glass. And he's going to get more and more loopy. Rudy has been, he has gone on shows intoxicated and appears to have, entertainment purposes only, a drinking problem. I'm not reporting that. I'm reporting stuff I've read. And that just might make it worse. But he may not be drinking fine Bordeaux. He might be drinking Nitrate Express. Might be more his speed. The lesson to be learned is the Four of Cups. And he can't get out of it. There's nothing he can do to get out of this. Accountability has come for Rudy. And he's going to be dealt blow after blow after blow. And, between these two cards, he's trying to deal with the emotional aspects of this, likely through drinking. Outcome is going to be the judgment card. He's going to continue to lose these judgments. He's lost his defamation case. He's lost his law license in multiple states, and he's going to continue to be held accountable for his poor behavior and unethical behaviors after that. This is just what happens. Donald Trump being elected was the worst thing that ever happened to Rudy Giuliani. Second worst thing. The worst thing was him just lobbying Donald Trump super hard to be his personal lawyer. And then coming up with this scheme for the election. Probably was trying to fleece Donald Trump the whole time. But for himself, he's going to lose everything. Was also watching a TikTok where a guy was basically documenting how Rudy was shaking people down for $2 million a pop for pardons. So I haven't seen that one come up yet, but you can imagine that would be a devastating case to have come up. Not that he has any money left or anything left to give. Blood from a stone type of thing. What's Rudy's state of mind? Little four-carder. As the stress builds up here, what's his state of mind? The world card. It's done. He's done. He's done. He's hostage. He can't get out of this situation. He's trying to negotiate stuff, but he's stuck. He's got nothing to negotiate with. There's that Four of Cups again. He is negotiating. We got the negotiations going on in the background. Maybe he gets some agreements because, again, blood from a stone, as I mentioned earlier. What does he have? Here's the interesting part. This is where Donald Trump should be really scared. What does Rudy have of value to trade as his world comes collapsing in? He's stuck, and he doesn't like the offers he's getting, but he's trying to make a trade. He's trying to negotiate stuff. If this is purely financial, which it may be, he doesn't have great options. Because he has no money. He's got no money and no leverage. The only thing Rudy has now is information. That is the one thing Rudy Giuliani is sitting on that's of any value. And, of course, the other thing is that with those negotiations going on, he could be trying to negotiate with Trump to get some money, maybe on the down low, so that he can continue a lifestyle while he fights all these cases in court. But Donald Trump is notoriously cheap, and he's the type of person that would just sort of look at Rudy Giuliani and say, well, I don't know him. Never met the guy before. Never seen him. I think I did a movie with him once. He doesn't care about Rudy. There's no loyalty. There's no... What's the word I'm looking for? Donald Trump doesn't think about what's in the best interest of other people. There's an ounce of empathy in that guy. None. And there's nothing he would do to help Rudy out of the kindness of his heart. It's all transactional. And Rudy, I don't think Rudy's got anything for Donald. Donald's going to let him swing. All right. Lastly, how is Rudy going to fare? Is Rudy going to end up in prison? Will Rudy end up in prison? Or as the thought of incarceration looms over him, what's Rudy Giuliani's thoughts on this one? Judgment card. It's funny how these cards keep coming up. Judgment cross world card 3 times. He knows it's coming. These judgments, there's probably criminal stuff that's coming. Maybe, again, he hopes Trump will get him out, but Rudy doesn't have the $2 million for the pardon. You know what I mean? Judgment's going to follow his new life here. I do not put these cards in the same deck, in the same part of the deck. I literally put a card there, drop a few cards, put a card there, drop a few cards, put a card there. The fact that these major arcana keep coming out, and all 3 of these came out, like in that first reading, it's telling you something. Rudy's going through a very karmic life event right here. The thought of Rudy, losing these court cases and going to prison is really weighing on his mind. He sees it coming. He's fighting it as best he can, and that's what he's trying to negotiate. He's trying to negotiate a pardon or something from Trump, something to keep him out of prison. Maybe an offer comes in, but remember the offers he was getting, the 4 of Cups, he didn't like anything that was with those. False friend, something big. I think you know what it is. He's reaching out to people. He's reaching out to friends, anybody to help him out with this. But I think there is no honor amongst thieves. He is stolen from too many people that aren't going to repay the favor. I mean, it could be Rudy lands on his feet and gets out of it. He sneaks off without having to pay the consequences. But I think the only way Rudy sneaks off without paying the consequences in this lifetime is if he passes before he is incarcerated. I think he's ripped off too many people, and he's going to pay kind of the karmic price for his less than stellar behaviors. So he is F around for years, decades, probably 30 to 40 years. Rudy's been doing stuff. Basically installed the Russian mob in New York at the expense of the Italian mob in New York. And he's just been a crooked person that had a great PR, happened to be in the right place at the right time on September 11th. And got a great reputation. But like all these felons, he can't stop criming when something good happens for him. anyways, again, this is for entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm just some random dude throwing tarot cards on the internet. I don't know Rudy Giuliani. I don't know his crimes other than what I read online. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.